Today on Lemon's World, we're covering Los Huevos Rancheros and their 62 Ford Falcon Ranchero. I have some personal experience with this general design, being the former owner of a 64 Mercury Comet. Now, the team captain of Los Huevos Rancheros, Tim, he's owned a street 64 Falcon for many years, and he and I really have bonded over the fact that these cars are kind of terrible.
They are totally terrible, and I just gotta say, we were all raised to think that certain iconic American muscle cars were the dominant machines in the world. And you know what? They're not. They're old, they're flexible, they never cooled well, they never steered well, the brakes never worked very well. Maybe in 1958 these things would beat other stuff, but now one of these cars comes to a Lemons race, everybody gets their arms in a big thing, and they say, like, this is not fair, like this car is going to dominate, and they're like 79th out of 80 cars. They're terrible!
And specifically, this Falcon Ranchero Comet and original Mustang design, it's just, the front suspension looks like it was designed by a first grader drawing with a crayon what he thought a front suspension would look like. It's just unbelievably bad.
But what is bad in real life is often good in Lemons, and these guys, they embraced this reality. They didn't deny it. They just said, yep, terrible. We're going to roll with that. We're going to go terrible forward. We're diving in. And it made their experience way better.
Now, on the plus side, even bad old cars are considerably cooler than any modern car. This Ranchero definitely fits that bill. It looks super sharp, it's got a useful pickup bed for carrying its own spare parts, and it has an, according to the internet, indestructible Ford 200 straight six. Now, in Lemons, we've definitely seen that this engine cannot be killed.
Well, okay.
Yeah, so Tim has killed like 5 of these motors, but that wasn't really his biggest problem. His biggest problem was he had a minor incident.
Dial it in. All right, this is going great. Car's head up. Slam it down. Okay, all right, I got it. Nice mesh. Okay, pour on the power. Get down to that apex. Good. Drift out. Excellent. Next apex. Hey, Frenchie, watch out. Jesus Christ. All right, no, we're good. Whoa. What the? All right.
Now, fortunately, nobody was hurt in this wreck, but that original Ranchero was hella dead. Also, fortunately, if you need a clapped-out Ranchero, just go to the California Central Valley. You'll find one rotting in a field in like 5 minutes, which they did. And soon enough, a Ranchero 2.0 was up and running. They dragged that shell home, dropped in the straight six from the wrecked car, and away they went.
So back to that suspension issue, everybody knows that front end is crap. There's a whole universe of upgrades and tweaks and geometry changes that everybody now knows about. Tim did all of those things, which, worked pretty well except for the fact that it left him with like 2/3 of an inch of suspension travel.
Now, in the back, nobody's even tried to fix the disaster that exists back there. Tim changed the leaf springs out. It's still got a solid axle. They added a bolt-on aftermarket sway bar kit. It's good enough.
The brakes are always the horrible part on muscle cars. They did upgrade. Front is 4-piston calipers, back is still drums because the bed's not attached to the ground anyway, ever. And the wheels are what Tim describes as very special 15-inch, round and cheap.
Now, all of this works relatively well. The straight six has been upgraded from 200 to 250 cubic inches. Tim estimates horsepower anywhere from 90 to 170. Now, this depends on air fuel tuning, integrity of the head gasket, the weather, and the overall optimism level of the team.
Conveniently, Ford Inline 250 also shares the V8 bolt pattern for the gearbox, so they were able to chuck the old 3 on the tree. They got a 4-speed top loader now. Tim says it's just like a Shelby GT350.
In the conversation about this car's handling, Tim uses the word floppy an unusual number of times, but he also says that you get used to it pretty quickly. It's got a long wheelbase, it's predictable and very easy to control.
What the? All right.
Now, in Class C, which is where this car lives and will always live, it could conceivably win its class. It hasn't yet because it cannot hold together, but Tim is convinced one of these days. But it's not like they've never won anything. A few years ago, we put them in the automotive journalist class. Tim works for Hooniverse, which is a great website, by the way. And they were running against Top Gear USA and their multi-million-dollar Tanner Faust anchored team with their Crown Vic, and Tim's 6-cylinder powered Ranchero. It murdered them.
Now, funny you should mention that, because I seem to recall that Top Gear USA episode in which they complained about in Lemons how so many cars are cheating, going over budget, and not being penalized, and how they just didn't stand a chance. To be fair, this is a common response to when you are dominated by a 62 Ford Ranchero with a straight 6.